Hi there, Sugar Plum. I want to show you this picture. It's me with Donald Pump, the president of the US of A, not to be confused with the US of B. Here we are wearing our Highland Bull fluffy slippers together, and I'm wearing this very same jumper. Now, here's the thing, okay? Something about the Trump family I just want to remind you of, friends. Remember, remove politics from your mind. I don't care. War FUD, politics FUD, Russia, Ukraine, flags. I don't care. Just move it aside, okay? We're trying to look for signals. Signals of where we are in the cycle. Anything in between doesn't really matter. Extremes matter, right? Because at the extremes, everybody is positioned as an extreme point. And if they are wrong, the unwind is catastrophic. So everybody said Bitcoin was going to zero pretty much in 2022. It didn't, okay? Now, the whole world now has to get into the ETF. We've been waiting for the altcoins part as well, right? At the tops, it's vice versa on that, where everybody's positioned optimistically for the future, but then everyone's in, and then the future's like, oh, might be a bit of jittery action on the way down. Okay. One of the signals I've been thinking about maybe is Trump's family. So, I've got a feeling that towards the tail end of this bull market, we will see reports that Donald Trump's company and family have been selling a lot of their shares, their stocks, their crypto. So we might see them dump into the bull market rally. And their risk on assets, remember there's risk off, where you have like cash or gold or bond, that's risk off stuff. And then risk on is, your stocks, crypto, of course, that's risk on, right? So Trump family might be offloading them over time. And we might just hit this point of the bull market at the end where they just don't have much left. And so I'm can see myself visualizing this in the future saying, oh, well, the Trump family, they've sold 75 to 85% of their assets. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to anything with his risk on world. It's just something to think about. But nobody's going to be worried about it because that's just how bull markets go. Let's play some PUBG music. That's the thing, right? It's all about the crowd. The crowd is too busy playing with their Game Boys, which you don't blame them. That's what happens, okay? Remember that the Trump family, friends, remember World Lesbian Finance? Okay, some people say World Liberty Finance, but it's not that. It's World Lesbian Finance. Trump family, they started off with 60% ownership of it. Now there's 40%. So they very recently sold a third of their stake. Now they've got about 40% of it left, all right? So you never know. Maybe throughout the bull market, they sell another portion of it. Then they're left with 20% and then maybe 10. And then when you might get to portions like that. So we'll be hearing about this stuff in the media appear from time to time. Amongst all the things we're going to be tracking with exotic top signal stuff out here. So I'll be making euphoria warning content video here for you. This is President Pump with a Pikachu hat. And not all of these things are going to line up perfectly. But as long as we're in the right frame of mind, we are going to make it. Shout out to my baby doll friend who made this a while ago, Mr. Pulse Chain Die. I love this, man.
1. 2. 3.
Awesome. So he's replying to USDC. Okay, where in the world have you used USDC? Remember, stablecoins, super cycle, stablecoins are a big part of cryptocurrency. It's awesome. We want to see this thing playing out. Remember, everyone in the world, if they want to take on risk, they take on risk. Yeah, but we need to get the people who don't take on risk into crypto. What do they want? The $1. That's all they understand. They don't understand finance. They just understand $1's $1, and that's it. They don't money printing up and down, left, right, all fugazi stuff. Here's the thing, friends. The people who remembered about the money printer, do you know a lot of them have just totally forgot? Do you know that? I got normie friends. I have normie friends. They forgot about it. They just totally forgot what happened in 2021. They know, oh yeah, they print money and there's printing and stuff. Yeah, they're learning a bit, but it's not as deep in their core as you would think. They just go on back to their day. It's like humans, right? We want to achieve homeostasis conditions again. So homeostasis, not homostasis. Homeostasis, would you just go back to basically an equilibrium, right? So when too many things change, you're like, oh, I just want to go back to how it is, right? It's kind of crazy, man. It really is wild. That's because that's pretty much what we lived through. So they're going to come back. I think it's also important to remember our basics of crypto, right? Memes, cults, religions. This is a cute Gengar on the computer. Meme coins only got popular because 99% of utility DeFi coins turned out to be down-only grift dog shit that dumps to the floor. People had enough of useless altcoins going down and crushing bones. Okay, that's pretty much what we've come to, see. But also you got World Lesbian Finance selling like, governance token stuff out here. So when you're seeing these things play out, remember there are what we call, a bit of contradictions and things out here, but it's that whole state of mind that just keeps you in the game, man. So you always hear that, man. Okay, when let's say Lionel Messi and careers and stuff for like the best football players, if you go watch them, maybe they've scored like 200 goals or something, but they'll make like a top 5. Yeah, and they're like, oh, remember that one? You remember like 5 of them. They're like, oh, that one was the World Cup. That one was the one to win the game. They remember that. Even in day trading, if you check out day traders, there's 250 business trading days of the year around. Yeah, most of their careers are made it's like 1 or 2 trades of the month. And if the whole year, it comes down to like, literally, there's probably like this. There's 250 days. It was the top 2% of the days where they did well, like top 5 days. Like once every 2 months, there was like a big high risk, high reward, A+ setup that appeared, right? Going to be the same thing in markets. If we have like meant to be a 4-year cycle, now it's a freaking 5-year cycle. But that's think about 5 years, 60 months. Yeah, it's going to come down to that final 3-month period where things just go bang. You get it? That's all of life. All of life is like that. All of life. And that's what we're doing here. So that's why they say, like, you just got to survive, man. If you survive, we eventually just, the slot machine just goes on the lottery feature and just coins start raining down from heaven. We're just waiting for that period. I want to show you this funny video as well that that appeared, man. When this came out, this just made me laugh. So this is, friends, are going to show you different animals and creatures and their IQ. And the lowest IQs are jellyfish, 0.1. And I've written, we all know that jellyfish is also waiting for alt season. So this is just cold. Oh, man, there's a bee up here, and we go all the way, friends. A cockroach, 1.4 IQ. There you go. Snake, you got an ant, bat. Remember, friends? Remember bat? Bat, 2.3 IQ, had sex with a Pokeball in 2020. That's how the zombie virus came about. Remember, that's the official blue pill cuck story. So it's kind of funny going all the way up. There's one thing here that's going to blow your mind a bit. So if you check it out, hippos are 29. Here's Lion King. Dolphin, 31 IQ. Crocodile, 32. Crows are very smart. Pigs, friends, 37 IQ. Killer whale, 39. Off the charts. What? Kraken? Kraken exchange? Octopus? Yeah. There are some things with octopus. They're literally, we think they're from another planet. We don't think they're actually seeded from here. They're a bit too smart for your average thing. And then here's a human out here. So I found this interesting, putting everything out there on the scale. Makes you wonder, right? If we could rank altcoins, yeah, just think about this. What would you rank them by? Not market caps. If you could make another metric, think about altcoins where you go, hey, how diehard are the believers? What would we show on our yardstick measuring table to think about, hey, what makes someone a hardcore believer? Some obvious ones. Tattoos, how many conferences you have, right? Do you even have conferences? Bitcoin does. Obviously, Pulse Chain, Hex, PulseX, the whole community, we do, right? There's things to think about, So we don't have all the answers, by the way. If we did, there'd be no edge there. Yeah, just like when if I ask you the question, hey, what makes a good company in the stock? Every single stock market investor gives you the formula. They go, oh, I want to see free cash flow. I want to see assets and liabilities. I don't want to see debt. Everyone knows, they know all the formula. Now, it still doesn't even help them. It's the wildest part. Even though they know the formula, it still doesn't help them because the market price is in the formula today. So what makes you great, what makes Warren Buffett great, he had like 140 IQ, by the way, has 140 IQ. So Warren Buffett, he is able to just think into the future. All right, so there's always ebbs and flows. Yeah, but that's what you need. That's why with markets, it's kind of funny. They asked him about his IQ. I think Buffett's 140. He says, if you have 140 IQ, throw away 20 of them because you don't need it. He goes, you need an emotional temperament, which just means you have to be able to regulate your own emotions day to day, right? You can't make us sell these lows. You don't have the cards. And he's President Bump. Whoever put this picture together, man, it made me laugh. So thank you so much, man. This is just gold. All these beautiful, juicy Pokemon cards out here. Man, oh, it's good. Just take it over the world, friends. Memes, AI, everything. But it's going to end with a bubble mania. We know this. Every single technology burst in the world that changed our lives, that was tech, ended with a speculative mania. Every single one. Is AI this time going to be different? I don't think so, man. You know, because I have to think, what would actually blow your mind for AI stuff? Because I'm noticing, first we got the images and the videos and stuff, but that's already mind-blowing. But like, what's the next level? I mean, like, what about when the AI it's no longer 100 IQ? It's smarter than us. That's coming within anywhere from 6 to 18 months. It's going to have 200 IQ. What then? Then imagine it starts just like, hey, talk to me. It just starts blowing your mind. What about, friends? Remember, like, I've got tradey friends. I've got friends who run their own businesses. Maybe you do too out there. You probably have your own inventory management, invoicing system stuff. Yeah, man. What if just AI is like accepting your, like, hey, here's my database file. Fix it. You literally just say fix it. And it knows what to do. It knows what you're talking about. And maybe it just like simplifies everything. You know? Imagine AI just talks to you. It does something like, hey, let's see if I can improve your life a bit today. You know? Like, how much time do you spend doing like this activity? You know? And you might say, oh, I spent about 55 minutes invoicing. And the AI may be like, yeah, I know that from tracking your computer. We go, anyway, thanks for telling me. And they go, hey, I wonder if I can cut that down. Show me what you're actually doing. Imagine that. You just have this one convo and it just starts spitting out stuff. See what I mean? I'm starting to blow your mind more with what these things can do. We haven't even got into the sex robots yet. You know what I mean? So until we get to that point, you got to remember to stay a Chad. Okay? So we're building into this world. We are building into this world. And we're going to see sky-high, ridiculous valuations out here. That's what we're going to be cranking up towards. Like, NVIDIA makes the hardware. There's nothing overblown bubble about that. ChatGPT is literally freaking like, you know, ground zero for it. So there's nothing speculative about that, like mania. Yeah, we have to build into it. We have to build into a big Ponzi. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what speculative mania means. It means we get so ahead of ourselves where, and that's why one of my ongoing thinkings is like one day, like a ChatGPT competitor appears, or one of the AI companies, but they turn out to run a total fraud Ponzi. And I just thought like it would be funny, a comedy where their AI was just learning of ChatGPT's and then rewriting itself, and everyone thought it was its own thing. You know what I mean? Like something like along the levels of comedy movie where the FTX stuff out here. We have to end with that, bro. We have to. You know, we're not there yet. Are we going to get there? We will. When though? Got to keep holding. Like, subscribe. Catch you soon.